The sages of the Talmud tell an interesting story about a couple who was married for 10 years but didn't have children. So they decided to get divorced in the hope that each of them would be able to have a child with another partner. They told their plan to the great Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who's credited with writing the Zohar, the most fundamental Kabbalistic text. And the rabbi said that since they were going to get divorced for a good reason, to have children, they should make a party to celebrate their divorce. The husband said to the wife, "I'm sad that you're going, so I want you to choose the most precious item from my house, the item that you love the most, to take with you when you leave." What did the woman do? At the party, she got her husband drunk, and then she had her servants pick him up and carry him to her father's home. When the husband woke in the morning, he looked around and saw that he was in his ex-father-in-law's house. He asked her, "What am I doing here?" She answered, "You told me to take the best thing from your house. There's nothing I love more than you." The husband was so moved by this great love that they decided to go back to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai to ask him what to do. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai told them, "Stay married," and he prayed for them, and as things so often do in stories, things worked out and the couple had a child. Interestingly, in Kabbalistic writings, the feminine often represents the ideal state, the particular perspective that while personified by woman, all of humanity should really strive for. It's important to note that the feminine and the masculine in those sources do not necessarily refer to actual men and women, but more to a male and female prototype, which all human beings access at different times. In this story, our sages are presenting these prototypes as having two very different viewpoints. The husband in this story is goal-oriented. If this marriage is not producing results, there are no children, then even if we love each other, there's no point to the marriage. The woman, though, sees the world differently. The point of relationship is the relationship. The point is not what we produce. Love is its own purpose. The relationship itself is the point. In a beautiful and metaphorically powerful finale, this couple merits a child exactly when the husband is shaken out of his goal-oriented approach by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's validation of her perspective. Paradoxically, it's when he begins to understand the purity of love, which has no ulterior motive, that their relationship bears fruit. In the same way, many people approach religion in a tit-for-tat kind of way. "Okay, God, I'm willing to do this or that mitzvah, good deed, but in exchange, you do this or that for me." But we forget that the point of the relationship is always the relationship and not what benefit we can reap from the relationship. The point of any godly action that we do, the point of any mitzvah, is to become closer to God, not to be rewarded, but to be in a relationship with God. The ultimate goal of all the mitzvot, the sources tell us, is anegel Hashem, to revel in the joy of relationship with God. This feminine approach to life, where the process is the result, can completely change the way we live. Instead of asking ourselves every day, "What did I do today? How much did I accomplish?" we would ask ourselves, "What did I become today? How did my actions bring me closer to my ultimate goal? How much more godly did I become today?" In Western culture, which resonates with the masculine voice, we allow ourselves to be pulled into a vortex of whirling action. We conjure up signposts of success along the journey to make us feel that we have arrived. Graduation, degree, job, car, house, marriage, kids. But we sometimes forget to check if those external signs of success mean that we have actually gotten anywhere. We just know the main thing is to keep moving, even if all that movement may not be getting us anywhere at all. We celebrate success, not process. The millionaire who made his millions through dubious means, the doctor who made it to the top of his field by stepping on lots of necks on the way up, the lawyer who destroyed his or her family life by working 75-hour weeks, will still get our accolades. A Western masculine mindset creates a total split between process and result. If you tried and did not succeed, your efforts are worthless. You don't get into college on the basis of your having studied for hours for the entrance exam. And conversely, if you pass the exam with flying colors, even though that has nothing to do with your own efforts, let's say you were born brilliant, we'll still laud you for your accomplishments. Pregnancy is a perfect metaphor for this feminine force, where every moment of the process is the result. While we can instant message our documents and zap our food in the microwave, in the meanwhile, there's no way to have an instant baby. Pregnancy is a process. Creating life isn't just a nice theoretical idea for a woman where one can pontificate on the value of a child who will carry on my name. It's an actual minute-by-minute creation involving varicose veins and heartburn. A woman doesn't do pregnant, she is pregnant. While pregnancy is biologically female, one also sees this dynamic clearly in what has traditionally been labeled woman's work. Childcare and keeping house can often feel like building sandcastles in front of a tidal wave. An hour after a delicious meal, everyone is hungry again. The bottom of the laundry hamper is an incredibly rare sight. If the person doing this work, and today thankfully that's just as likely to be man, is goal-oriented, it's extremely frustrating. Unless we remember that feminine voice, which insists that the question is less about, did you get the kids into bed, but how did you get them into bed? Less about how much cooking did you do, and more about what kind of energy and atmosphere was served up with the soup. This feminine perspective is a gift that, once deeply understood, can be projected onto any situation by men and by women. Imagine how different things would look if every field of endeavor, be it science, medicine, law, high-tech, or business, would all be approached from the perspective that people work, building relationships, is really the goal. This is one example of how the feminine force becomes the lodestone, drawing people closer to the ultimate truth.